You wiped away my tears.
Very good. Cannot have any photo.
It's a Thursday and welcome to your favorite show of the week, the Art Embodiment Show, a show where we bring to you love, inspiration and talent. And in the house today, we have Webi Chisakama, who is the author of The Desire to Transform and to Succeed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So may you just kindly just tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Webi?
Actually, Webi is a student at the University of Zambia, a second-year student who is doing a Bachelor's of Art with Education, majoring in mathematics, and has been introduced an author of the first book of the 4 books that I've written.
Oh.
And, yeah, the first born in the family of 5.
Yeah, wait. What are the names of the other books that you've written?
There is one fictional book which is The Throne of the Unknown. There is the Beauty and Dangers of Love, and there is the second version of this one, which is Identifying Yourself, which is Who Am I? Self-discovery.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see those nice books.
Sure.
So, what motivated you to come up with this book in the first place?
Okay, actually, coming up with before to start writing the book, what inspired me much to start writing the book was the behavior of the youths. Because before coming up with the title, The Desire to Transform and Succeed, the same book, the title of the book was The Power of the Youths, which is now a chapter in the book.
Okay.
So looking at the power of the youths, I looked at the contribution of the youths to the national level. I was very much inspired when I looked at how less we the youths are contributing to the global development, or maybe let me say to the country development, to the national development. And then it touched me so much. And looking at being a student at the University of Zambia, I came to notice something from the students from the University of Zambia, which is we are much into only academic, because we were taught where you are going, you need to study hard so that you can obtain your degree and have a good job. But we forgot something to say: when you go to a place, if you're getting something, you also need to give something.
Oh, yeah.
So that is, we forgot that we're supposed to give a name to the University of Zambia. So when I looked at all those things as in the life that we live in as the students, it touched me so much. Thus, I sat down and then I thought, how can I preach to the youths? How can I alert the youth to say there is this that is missing in our today's living? So that is how I came up with the power of youths, so that I can preach to the youth, so that as in we've got this power, we can contribute, we can do this. But after that, and then I looked at the other things that can affect, despite we knowing that, okay, we've got this power, but there are other factors, or maybe other things that we're supposed to know. Like, for instance, everyone wants to succeed.
Yeah.
But how can you succeed? Everyone wants to succeed, but the question is how. That is the question that we don't have an answer to. And every person that finds the answer to how definitely succeeds.
Yeah.
So that's how I actually came up with the desire to transform and succeed, after looking at before success is more like the destination. But before you reach your destination, there has to be a process.
There has to be a process.
So that process is the process of change. That is the process that I called transformation. And then in that process of transformation, there has to be something that has to push you in so that you can go through to your destination, which is success. And after looking at what pushes people, as in the people that succeed, I came to discover that it is actually the desire. As in the person that has the desire to succeed, they definitely succeed. So after looking at all those angles, then I actually came up to draw the desire to transform and succeed, as the title of the book.
Okay, yeah, it's very interesting. You talked about the youth having the power. What kind of power is that?
Okay, looking at the youth from the definition of who the youth is, we can actually define a youth as a person at the age between childhood and adulthood. So the youths are actually the pillars of the world, as other people put it. So the youths are the people who are energetic, and looking at the world today, the world has more youths than the other age. Yeah. So the power that we have, so being the youths and having the energy to move the world, because anything that the youth focuses on, it definitely happens. So that is the power that we have. We're actually the voice of the world. So I looked at us being the voice of the world, everything that we speak, because the youth, when they go to, we take for instance maybe the students, maybe the University of Zambia students, that's just a small population, but you can imagine if they just go to the roadside and try to protest. The news is everywhere, like the University of Zambia students are doing this and that. So that is the power. We've got the power to actually contribute to the positive and the negative. It is just up to us on how we want to use the power that is in us.
Okay, I agree with you, because if we look at our first cabinet of Zambia, we only had about 3 to 4 people who were above the age of 35, and the rest were youth. And if we look at how our nation was being run, then it was very efficient. And now, looking at the fact that we have 66% of youths, and if we look at the people who are representing us in government, you find that they are older people and they are the minority.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's right with what you are saying, to say the youths must rise up and realize their power.
Yeah.
You talked about the secret of success in one of the chapters here.
Oh yes.
What's the secret to success?
Okay, coming to the secret of success, there are certain things that we actually need to realize, as in the secret of success. Looking at the things that are actually drawn down, the first thing, as in the secret to success, is if you want to succeed, first and foremost, you need to realize your origin. As in our origin, that is, we need to know that we were created. We came from somewhere. We didn't just come from nowhere. So obviously we need to look back to the origin. That is, by the origin I mean we need to realize that God is there. That is one secret, because everything that happens in man's life is the plan of God. Yeah. So that is actually the first thing that is we need, as in the person who wants to succeed, needs to consider. And then the other secret of success, looking at success is simply happiness. So if we define success as in happiness, quite all right, others can define success as maybe having a lot of cash, a lot of everything, as in it's different definitions that can be given. But having all those things comes to having happiness.
Happiness,
yeah. So if one wants to have happiness, you definitely need to do something that you have love for. So that is the top secret of success. You need to identify the things that you love and do those things that you actually love. Yeah, because one thing that I've come to realize, that is even the time I actually, before I started writing this book, it always used to be in me, as in to find who I am and to do what I love. But I used to question myself every day. What is it that I love? what is it can I do best in that the world can appreciate, and what is it that I can do so that I can contribute to the world? Then I realized there is actually something in me that is a lot of people, friends and family, they actually tell me, you actually speak a lot. You actually speak a lot. Then I realized that, you know, every person has a weakness, but if you understand your weakness and try to change that weakness into a positive thing, it actually gives you happiness. Because me talking a lot, I actually talk a lot. So I looked into that and then I said, how can I contribute? Because talking is just in me. I love to talk. So how can I contribute to the world through talking? Then I actually said, I'll talk both into writing and speaking. So right now, I'm not just an author, and I'm also a motivational speaker.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Actually, because of the talking of. So those are the things you actually, the secret of success, coming to the question, you actually need to identify as in one thing that is in you, the thing that you love, and then be ready, as in put in all it takes so that you make it move to attain that which you want.
Now, how do someone move from that point where they don't know what they love to actually get to that point to say, this is what I love, writing is what I love?
In short, how you can identify your area of gift.
Of gifting,
There are actually many ways, but I'll actually tell out the path that I used. Given a story of how I came to the University of Zambia as a student, the time I completed my secondary school, I never knew about the University of Zambia.
So you? Wait. Where did you complete your secondary school?
I was at Zambezi boarding school, that is in Northwestern Province. That's where I did my secondary school. And then after completing, because I was one person who loved my friends, and every time I was actually a person who was only found with friends. Never wanted to be found alone. So when we completed the secondary school, we departed with friends. But you know, communication continues. So all the friends used to call me to say, I'm applying to the University of Zambia and everything. I knew nothing about the University of Zambia, but because my friends were going to the University of Zambia, lucky enough, I actually got some good points that can actually push me to be at the University of Zambia. So because of my friends, I actually applied to come to the University of Zambia. And then just to cut the long story short, after coming to the University of Zambia, the only thing that I knew is I'm going to find friends, we're going to meet again, and start the life that we actually stopped.
Continuation.
And then after reaching the University of Zambia, it was twist of fate. I actually came to realize after meeting different people, because that is also a community. It's a world. Different people with different characteristics. So after meeting different people, and then they told me about what they do, I got inspired. And then I looked down. I was like, wait a minute, boy. I think this is not enough. As in just to live the life where you just pray with your friends and everything, because one day your friends will not be there. So what are you going to do for yourself? The time I'm talking about, it was at the time when I knew that I can write a book. I can actually speak. The only thing I think that I knew was I can talk a lot, because people used to tell me that. So after looking at all those angles and the stories that I used to meeting different people, them telling me about themselves and what they love, what they do, then I actually came to sit down, go through, as in to ponder upon my life, check through what I can do, and I identified the things that I thought that I didn't pay attention to, but they were actually in me. As in, I loved to read. Reading, it was actually my daily manner. I loved to read books and writing stories and those things. It was actually part of me. And preaching to the world, I used to preach to my siblings. So then I realized, I think this is the only thing that I can do. I think this is the only thing that I'm good in. Because I can't sing, I can't do the other things that others do. So how can I develop this? So it's just a matter of looking back, looking not around you, but within you. You look within you and see just one area that you're good in. And then if you cannot find that, I always tell my friends, if you cannot, if you cannot identify, then you can create. Okay. That is, if you can't discover who you are, then create yourself. Okay, so by creating, as in, you need to look the things that you can do best. Yeah, you look around and you just see maybe, okay, what can I do? Maybe I can actually, I'm good at helping, as in maybe rendering your hand. Yeah, so you go with that and just to see, focus on that and see how best you can do to actually reach your destination. That
so
is
so like what can be your last way to someone who is watching and someone who has got the desire to succeed but they don't know how to? Okay. What are some of the last ways that you can help them?
I think the last way that I can say to the viewers is one thing that you should do is you need to actually not focus much on what is happening around you, but start with looking what is within you, because the best you is always found in you. Because the Bible says God created us with a unique potential, and that unique potential is only found in you and not around you or with you. So you need to look in you and identify. Every person has something that they are good at, and when you identify that thing, it's not something that is going to come automatically. That you identify, okay, I'm good at singing, then you just abruptly become a singer or maybe a star. Now, it's something that you need to put in now your effort, because it is something that has to come with consistency, because there are a lot of things that happens around, but you need to focus and be consistent to what you want to do.
All right, thank you so much. If you want to get a copy of this book, you can actually contact the numbers 0972168470. And thanks for tuning in to the Arts Embodiment Show. My grandfather's name is Simbi, and I'm Vincent. See you next time.
For help. So it's a Thursday and it's your favorite show of your week, and we are back on your screens.
You know, Jesus interacted among them. He went with the tax collectors. He went, it says, hey, Zacchaeus, I'm having...
That began before the beginning began. He that will never end, even if end was to end.
Pride, you wiped away my tears.
Very good. Cannot have any faults whatsoever. Therefore